takes 24 full hours to make a draft pick is going to milk a risk game. I, for one, am shocked.
I'm
utter disbelief.
And
color me surprised.
Yeah.
I'm going to make him quit the game.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
What a positive note to start this
Right.
podcast on.
2024.
Yeah, bully someone into quitting a game. Real nice, Lippy. Thought we left bullying in 2023. That's why no one's going to talk about the Taint Dells trade on this pod.
That's a real
Once
shame.
again, I just said that no one is going to talk about it. No one here with a vested interest in seeing that pan out is going to discuss it at all, if I had to guess.
I mean, if those are the rules, those are the rules. Let's see here. So,
I tried to bully. Speaking of bully, I tried to bully Andy into coming on.
I did see that. That's what I'm saying. We got.
I've heard some nasty rumors about Andy lately.
Nasty.
They probably came from me, to be quite honest. I've been spreading them like wildfire.
I can't say what they were about, but I can say that they were about maybe him going 0-3 in the FBA playoffs.
Oof.
And he claimed it was because Jamar Chase got hurt and Burrow got hurt, but the rest of his team is apparently the entire All-Pro first-team offense.
Oh, is that so?
That's what I've heard from Andy himself.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know about any of those allegations, Lippy. I've got half a mind to believe that it's possible you've invented all of these snide comments about.
I will say, just to before I start crashing Lippy throughout the extent of this pod, I will give credit where it's due, and that he did do an impressive turnaround in a league that he took over for a guy that we knew who dropped off. And in what was it, 2 years, Lippy turned it from one of the worst teams in the league into a champion.
Slightly over 2 years, inherited a team that was the 101 that had did we have Goff? It was Goff, T-Law, and Swift on the entire roster. That was it, and our picks.
It was a sad state of affairs. It really was.
And then in June of 2023, I made a bunch of trades because of all the picks we accumulated, and might have declared we were coming for the title in FBA, and I got called some very mean names.
Terrible names.
In fairness, I would have called you those names regardless.
Facts
would not have made any difference. You actually making that declaration had no impact on me calling you those names.
I mean, you wouldn't think by looking at it that it was an adopted team. Although, the pick situation is tough, but that's what happens when you're a champ. Don't have a first rounder for the foreseeable future, or a second rounder for that matter.
To be honest, though, that's not an uncommon position in that league. Like, there's one of the guys inexplicably mortgaged his entire future to go all in this year. He gave up his 2026 first to me for Geno Smith, which was an interesting choice. He has no first round picks until I think 2027. I think that's the first rounder that he has.
Whoever it was that traded me Devonta Smith for the 114 last year, after the season, or right before the season ended, absolute splendid trade, Mr. Castillo.
Greg.
November of 2022 gave me Devonta Smith for the 114.
Yeah, that's tough. Greg's good at fantasy. He typically doesn't make moves like that. That one threw me for a loop.
Greg also probably had the best team, maybe besides Andy.
Yeah.
We'll let Andy know I said that. And he also has the 105, 109, 110, and 114 this year. So I think he's going to be okay.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be more than fine. His team was so ridiculous. He got so many young guys. It makes me so mad looking at it. I'm starting to really hate my team in that league.
Let's see,
I can see why.
I have
All right.
Mr. Waters' team pulled up on the big monitor right now.
Ooh, are we sharing the screen, sir?
Oh, I can share screen, sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get this pulled up. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. So this should be.
Wow, I'm
Mr.
happily
Waters'
going to watch
team.
this stream.
Um,
Oh, this is gonna make me sad.
Oh, yeah, you're one of my co-managers. Love that, love that.
yeah.
Wow, keep in mind, Jerome Ford, Cole Kmet, Quentin Johnston beat this team.
It's
Yeah.
so ridiculous. Makes no sense.
But I mean, you can't talk shit when I was the highest scoring team in the entire league in this.
Listen, just to be clear, I can talk shit regardless.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, that is the best type of shit to talk.
So
Because if
I
you stop
arguably shouldn't, but I could.
no. Nothing makes me more mad than someone who only talks shit when they're ahead.
Oh, see, that's where I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm consistent.
it's very respectable.
I mean, this is not a bad team.
It's not, and that's the thing. It's a perfectly fine team, but you can't. There's just not a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of stuck
Gotcha.
because I'm not moving any of the quarterbacks, despite apparently being willing to, against my better judgment, move Lamar in Fuckfest.
I mean, we don't have to talk about that either.
Listen, you want to talk about hating a team? I've never hated a team more than I hated my Fuckfest team. It's impossible. No one has. No one's hated a team more than how much I hated that team.
Oh man, yeah.
It was so bad. I still have people on it that I hate, but they'll be gone soon. Rest assured.
Yeah, if we ever could get trading opened again.
Well, I was hoping that the coward of a commissioner would be here to answer for that, but it appears that he is not going to face the music.
Yeah. He's ducking the public eye.
I mean, as would I if I was just, holding a league hostage like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. If you commit war crimes, you don't walk around in the street. But there should be an element of owning up to what he's done. Or not done, in this case.
Yeah, a lack of action.
I mean, Curn could have had Odell for so cheap, and Briard just refused to turn on trading. It really is a travesty.
There are rumors swirling that I have a deal in place for the 109 that is going to be accepted. The second trading gets turned down.
Who's got the? Is that
Jack House?
Who?
Bevo's
Jack House
got
is
the pick. He has the 109.
Oh, sorry, Bevo.
Wait, Libby, what picks do you have in this one now?
104, 107, 111.
Wow,
Because
you can get a lot of mid at those picks.
Is that?
We love to hate. We love to hate. Our team's set up to make the playoffs next year, and we love it. Absolutely love it.
Is that true?
It is.
Okay, you've got JT. You have Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker. You've got Addison, Higgins.
You got a lot of depth, if I recall correctly, Lippy. A lot of depth.
No. We've gotten rid of some of our depth, but yes, we still have depth.
I ought to just pull up the trade log and see kind of how we got to this point. We could skip over some, but it's so difficult to keep track, Lippy, of.
It is.
And that's the beauty of it. It hides the bad trades.
I was going to say, I found that in any league I'm in with Lippy, I can't look back because I just can't remember. I'm just like, there were such a flurry of moves. I don't even know what all happened.
Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. We could actually, on desktop, normally it's just a worse experience. We can sort trades with just...
Well, here you go. I just while he looks at stuff real quick, I did take over an orphan yesterday.
Okay.
The team was Rodgers, CMC, Eckler, Garrett Wilson, Adams, and Keenan. And then had the 102 as well. That's the whole team. Would you tear that? Yes. The rest of the team's out.
Yeah, I think I'm tearing that down right away.
So then if I were to tell you I already traded CMC and Keenan Allen, what would you want back?
I want a lot for CMC. Keenan, I mean, Curn liked him enough to give up a first rounder, so I'm hoping you got at least
That's during
that.
playoffs. It's tough. It's during playoffs, and we're already.
No, I understand. Yeah, I think if you get a second for Keenan Allen, you're thrilled. CMC though needs to be a haul.
It's tough. It was we got JSN.
Okay.
And we got the 107.
And
no, that's it. That's all we got.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, and I don't want to talk bad about the trade, Lippy, but I
love the 107. Love the 107 this year. Just absolute splendid pick.
I'm not hating on the 107.
I mean, we can do this right now. Let's go quarterbacks that I would love to own. We're not even going to talk about Penix or JJ McCarthy. We're going to talk Jaden, May, Caleb.
Right.
We're going to talk receivers that I would love to own. Love. You got Neighbors, you got Marvin, you got Rome. Rome.
And
then you have Bowers. That's 7 right there. That's 7 players.
Yeah. But I mean, at one point, you're getting the last of whatever one of those is.
And I'll happily take it every day of the week and Sunday.
Sure, but it's for McCaffrey's on the other side of it. That's what's tough.
Problem is McCaffrey does me no good.
No, I understand.
And I understand you could hold out and wait longer. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the pick's going to be great. JSN is going to be great. That's not, I think, the criticism of the trade. It's just that potentially you left some on the table. I think that's what the kind of the bottom line is there. But, at the end of the day, it's easy to say that when no one else is, when you're just looking at a trade. If no one is offering you anything else, then it's tough to say there's anything else out there. So,
but how long did you wait? Like, how much shopping did you do?
A lot of shopping. Let's see. We can see some of the rejected. I tried to get the.
I can't even imagine how terrible those are.
So I offered CMC for Tank Dell, the 105, 205, and 211. Got rejected.
Wow.
I think I like the deal.
I think I would take that.
Yeah. I thought it was a lovely deal as well.
Yeah. It's pretty generous.
So then I offered CMC and Adams for the 105, Tank Dell, and the 205. Rejected.
The hell? I think I would take that.
I thank you.
Yeah, what we've learned is Lippy really does not like CMC.
He does me no good.
Listen, I hate Devontae, as y'all have seen, so I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I offered CMC and Keenan for the 107, 208, and JSN. Rejected.
Oh my God.
And then he countered and just took out the 208. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all things considered, it's good. You got what you got, but I think it's crazy that any one of those previous ones, I'd have been sprinting to hit accept on any of those.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because, as good as Tank Dell probably is, I can't imagine if you're one of those teams, he's going to help you more than
back to back also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine that he's going to help you more than TMC would.
Right. Especially if you're winning back to back, why would you not want to punch it through with CMC?
Yeah.
Very curious.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because I mean, out of all the trades you said got you like the word declined, Lippy, I like the one you got accepted the most for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I'm happy getting JSN on the 107 back. In a year and a half, I mean, Keenan's done. And I mean, CMC is at the tail end of his career right there. So, I mean, probably. Fuck. Who knows?
I don't know. He's looked rejuvenated with the 49ers.
But now in this league, though, we have the 102, 107. And we have Garrett Wilson. We have JSN. Adams and Eckler's an eyesore still.
Yeah, that's awful.
If any of them are listening, I'm going to trade them just for anything. If I could get the 205 for them, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, Adams is hard because you got to imagine he's on a different team next year. But
Did you see what he was saying about Antonio Pierce today?
No. Oh, yeah, that he said he wanted him to be the coach, right?
Yeah, he's like he embodies Oakland. He is Oakland and all that stuff.
Well,
So
shit, maybe
he
not.
loves Pierce and loves Oak. I don't know the way he
I don't
talks.
know.
He stayed. I don't know.
But he did look like he looked good at times this year, but he also looked a step off. Like it wasn't as dominant as he's been in past years. That's what made me like so nervous because I had him in a bunch of leagues and I acquired him in a bunch of leagues. Not for much, but still like a decent return. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, he might just be washed.
Let's see here. Let's look at where the Raiders are mocked to
I mean,
end up.
we could talk about. I mean, I keep looking back at my trade with Tate. Actually, the trade for the 103. How do you feel about that right now, Tate?
I genuinely I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
So you got the 103, 2 late seconds this year, and Roshan. You gave up the 107 Jacobs and Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, if I had it to do it over again, do I do it? I don't know. I can't stress enough how much I hated that team so much that I wanted to make it change.
I
Like,
feel like you really wanted to get rid of Jacobs.
so bad. So bad. Well, the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was just trying to lean on that at the end of the day.
Well, because I actually talked to Andy about this, and the frustrating thing with Jacobs is I think Jacobs is really good. I think a lot of people think that Jacobs is really good, but nobody seems to think that he's as valuable as like his play has been. Like I don't know why that is. Like he's been great. I don't know if it's the uncertainty with his contract or what, but because I've had this come up in other leagues where it's there's just no offers for him, and like the offers that you would want, it's like I'm not getting what I want to get, and so it ended up being one of those things where I was like, look, I'm either going to get stuck holding the bag with this guy on a team that I don't need him, or I can, get what I can for him in a deal. If that, I think including him in that deal is what kind of got us across the finish line. So
it absolutely is, and I was willing to give up Roshan. The 2 late-second dart throws you can have. I mean, I understand it from your side. I was happy to get Higgins, Jacobs, and the 107 back for what I gave up, though.
Yeah, I think if I had to do it over again, the only thing I would probably want to do different is fight hard and not do the 107. That would be the only thing. But it just so happened. I mean, the two guys that we just talked about, Jacobs and T. While I love him, like his value is in the toilet. It is.
Yeah.
It's so bad, and I think he'll bounce back, but. If he goes out, I think they're going to franchise tag him. He'll come back. He'll have a good year, and then sign somewhere else. But if he hits the open market, he could easily be the next like Corey Davis, where he signs to be the one somewhere and just can't do it.
I'm praying that Caserio doesn't sign him for the Texans.
I would just be over the moon if it was the Ravens. Imagine him on the Ravens. Just any really good running back on the Ravens would just be lovely.
Oh wait, you're talking about Jacobs?
I was talking about T. Higgins.
I knew who you were talking about. And
I was talking about Jacobs.
I was talking about.
I mean, Higgins, I'll be happy with anywhere.
Really?
They're probably gonna franchise Higgins.
They're
gonna franchise tag him.
There's no way they don't run it back with Higgins.
Yeah, they'll franchise tag him.
I don't know. You guys,
I think they do.
I feel like the writing's been on the wall for the past 2 years that he's not going to be sticking.
That's just because everyone wants him on a different team to be an alpha somewhere, ideally.
Well, and I think it's also like, yes, that writing's been on the wall, but I think that's why you're not seeing him sign to a long-term deal with them right now. That's why I think they'll get one more year out of him doing what he does, and then I think they're content to let him walk.
I hope that's true, because I do not, and I don't think Caserio will sign him. I think the only receiver that he would be tempted to sign for big money would be Mike Evans, but I think he probably re-signs with Tampa. So just I don't know.
Why? I guess if I'm them, I think you've got a good situation, and maybe I'm too optimistic, but I like Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Mechie as my options.
No, I do too. Fuck, you could bring Noah Brown back for cheap too. And that's what I
Yeah,
said. I think that if Casario is going to make a big splash with the free agent side, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball,
yeah.
and because I think there's a good chance he'll draft a receiver that falls to the end of the first round or kind of middle of the second, because I think that's where our picks are going to end up.
There's a lot of beautiful receivers in the middle of the second
You
this year.
you
Yeah,
think he'd take one that high? Really?
I think what our first objective will be, but he loves to fucking trade, is what I've learned.
Yeah.
He loves trading, and I think that what he'll probably do, I think the most pressing need is going to be, he'll probably go safety.
I was
Probably
gonna say maybe corner.
yeah. It's going to be safety. It's something in the secondary or O line, but I really think it's going to be a secondary piece. But I would not be surprised if he like traded up to the beginning of the second for a receiver. Is kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. All I know is that I trust him.
I saw something interesting the other day on Twitter. I wonder what your guys' thoughts is. So the Geno situation in Seattle, and honestly, we can tie this together with Baker in Tampa. It's kind of they were equating it to the same situation with Alex Smith at the
Huh.
Chiefs, Tyrod with the Bills. It's, do you want to live in that kind of mediocrity there, or do you want to try and actually get a quarterback that can
I
win you
think
it all?
I think Baker is more capable than all of the names you listed.
But is he actually someone that can elevate the team to over that mediocrity?
I don't think so. I
I don't.
think
I don't think so. As someone who wants him and has him in a bunch of dynasty leagues, of course, I really want it to work out. But I don't know. He's going to get a contract. Question is what?
yeah, I could see a scenario. I think it's more likely that the Seahawks go the route you're saying and draft a young guy this year than it is that the Bucks do it. Like I think the Bucks could fool themselves into being like, yeah, we'll take cheap Baker and roll with this.
Reset
Um,
Mike.
yeah. Whereas I think in Seattle it just seems like they have more of a plan. Um, they take Jason last year, who I think they envision him as eventually replacing Lockett. Um,
Who That's a guy
you
who's
know,
who's
all
taken a step back for sure. The
yeah, all their moves I think though have been geared towards a plan.
a
Um,
longer term objective. Yeah,
yeah, whereas I think Tampa's just like flying by the seat of their pants.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Tampa's going to get stuck in the trying to win the NFC South because it sucks so much, and just kind of enjoying these 8 and 8, 9 and 7
I
seasons.
think that's what all of the teams in the NFC
I was
South
gonna
are
say I'm in a city
doing.
right now where they are for sure doing that.
Yeah.
But is it a good place to be where you just get a
No,
home playoff game each year and you're going to lose to the Cowboys or Eagles? I mean, honestly, they might beat the Eagles this year, but losing that divisional round,
no, I mean no, but I guess they're looking at it like, well, someone's got to win it, and so like, what are our options?
Yeah.
absolutely.
That
But I
that might be
what
the
what
worst
I
division.
oh it is. I think it easily is. Like I guess my thing is they may look at it and say, if I were them, I'd be looking at it and saying, okay, we were able to do this year with Baker, who is what he is at this point,
Yeah.
and we're close to we're on the brink of winning the division. Like, do we really think a rookie quarterback can't come in and replicate that or get close? Like, that's what I would be looking to do. But I don't know if they're thinking that way about it. I also don't know where they pick to where if they can even get one.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they're kind of still up in the air. All of the NFC South is up in the air. We'll know obviously a lot more about draft spots this week, and um, obviously Texans pick is going back to Arizona, but that'll be 32 after we win the Super Bowl.
Sure. They're at least 17, so it's already not great.
Yeah. No, I've already taken some victory laps with Lippy, Jack, and Curn because I was told some not nice things at last year's draft about Will Anderson and that trade. But
Well, Alexander, I've been over this with you. My problem with it was solely I thought the Texans pick would be top 10. And if the Texans pick was top 10,
told it was going to be the 101 next year. Is what
yes,
I was told.
that might have been in the conversation. And obviously the fact that's not the case helps the Texans in this situation.
Yeah. Anderson's a fucking beast.
Lippy, he's good.
He's so awesome. Lippy, you want to
what do you got, Tate?
You want to run through your gauntlet of trades, Lippy?
I think Tate had a question first, sir.
Oh.
Well, no. The only question I was looking at the draft board thing. I want to see where you came down. Me and Andy argued about this in the office yesterday. We're attorneys. We do work.
720 per dry street.
It's if you're the Bears, what are you doing at 101?
Great question.
I think it's the easiest question in the world. I could care how good Caleb Williams is. You trade back.
Interesting. Okay.
I could care less how good Caleb Williams is. They're saying they could get more than they got last year for Bryce Young. And think about what they got for Bryce Young last year.
That's something that depends on the haul. I think it is really tough to have back-to-back 101s and trade them away.
Yeah.
I think that's really hard. And
but Justin Fields does have some big red flags. The Bears fans here, though, all love him.
I think instead of trying to get... I mean, and I like Justin Fields too, but, I don't think... we're talking about Baker not getting it done. I don't think Justin Fields is getting done.
I have a question for you, Alexander, sir.
Okay.
It's a pretty straightforward question, sir. Your tabs at the top are very interesting. Giant sea eel, druid spells to to a fish stew recipe.
Yeah. Do you want to read the recipe? I've actually found this one yesterday.
Just to be clear, these aren't like open tab. Like you have these saved, so presumably you go to these enough.
These are bookmarked.
Okay.
These are bookmarks. These aren't even open tab. Wow.
Yeah. See, I knew Lippy when he said open tab. I was like, no. You're missing the big picture here. Wow.
You're seeing the flesh, the tree, and missing the forest. This is a pretty good little recipe actually. Really easy to make. They say you can use canned tomato sauce, but it recommends using strained tomatoes. So, kind of ends up really easy steps, simple.
I'm hesitant to ask this next question, but am I seeing one of the bookmarks that just appears to be a picture on Reddit? Is that what I'm hesitant. I don't know if I want you to click on it, but I'm just asking if that is in fact what I'm seeing.
That was a guide, like a walkthrough to how to play like a new game that had come out that me and some friends here played. So I won't open it, but it's also nothing to concern yourself or hide the children for. So,
but yes, NF, I'd love to go over these trades.
Yeah. So we obviously have stuff that started before the draft, or right after the draft. I think this was probably like right when we did the rookie draft.
Yeah, I can't when it's that long ago. I couldn't tell you what the pick was.
Yeah, but so we'll just start with August, kind of football time. Alec Pierce, nothing burger trade for a second. This is where things get real. September, the Olave trade, Lippy.
I'd do it again. Lovely trade. What picks was it? 107. I would not. Probably would. I don't know. It's tough. 107 and the 26 first. Probably at least the 107 or later. I'm happy with it.
All right. Now what about this one? What about this trade for C.J. Stroud? What are your thoughts on this trade?
Lippy, this one drives me up a wall.
It's Caleb Williams for C.J. Stroud. I'm still happy with it. My friend got C.J. Stroud, who's a big C.J. Stroud fan, and I got Caleb Williams.
I mean, and I'll always love Lippy for this trade, just because
You should.
it makes my heart so big and happy. It makes my heart so warm. Um,
I do that. I do that again.
This is
No
my
problem.
favorite trade of the year.
What? Just wait before we move off this track, because I'm curious. I haven't gotten to ask you this, A&F. What would you have been willing to give up?
You probably would have given up another first.
Yeah. So and this was pretty early. This
Right.
If
it was early, but you had seen the.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You had seen it.
Yeah.
No, we knew Stroud was a top 8 quarterback at that point, not top 5 like I think people would say now, but probably top 8 dynasty quarterback.
Yeah. I just got a spam email. Apparently, my vehicle's warranty is expired.
Oh, you're gonna want to do something about that.
No, I know. I need to call these guys. Hopefully, if I give them my social, they'll figure it out for me. But post Cincinnati game, I would have just given anything. I would have given anything for him because I've got him in pretty much every other dynasty league that I'm in. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would knock the trade. Is that I think knowing you, and again, this isn't to say that you should always try to ruin people's lives with trades, but I do know that you would have given up way more than that for him, and so it just wasn't.
That goes to like my core philosophy in any trade I offer. I don't try and do that to people. Do I try and get a trade that I do try and do a trade I think I won? Sure. But I don't try.
I think it would have been fair even with another first in there. Because I think even as a top 8, like I think you easily give up 2 firsts for him.
Yeah. I'm still happy with it.
Being that high? That's just me.
Yeah. Lippy, but
I get it.
So a rookie for your team includes Musgrave and Brian Robinson for a 2025 first. Just kind of a meat and potatoes trade for a first. Do you think this would still hold up?
As long as Brian still has the job next year, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
How likely do we think that is?
50-50 maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at.
If Brian has that job, I'll have no problem with that trade next year. If he doesn't have the job, I'll be a little sad.
Yeah. There's the chance for a big shakeup, but we have no idea what that'll look like. All right, this is a big beluga trade. So you're trading away the Caleb pick.
I hated this too.
Ended up being the 102 though, but yes.
Trading away, and I only was allowed to start acquiring players after this trade because I was kind of sworn in to not fuck up my 101 status. Trade away the.
That sounds dangerously close to collusion, friend.
I think he just would have felt guilty. I never told him to do it.
Right,
I think he just
exactly.
Would have
I would have felt like
because he knew I was being nice because I knew he really wanted Stroud,
right.
And I was like, "Fuck it, I'll take the 101."
It would have been very ungentlemanly to do that.
So the way I saw that trade in the moment and kind of see it now, it's getting Goff and JT for 101, 102, let's say. So Goff and JT for the 102, and then the rest getting for JSN.
This trade comes down to what do you feel about Goff and JT?
I love them both.
Yeah, and I'm a hater. You know that.
I have seen some concerning things about Goff though recently. Is EPA
he plays football?
Is EPA a good stat? No. But when you break it down by category of how the EPA is earned, so yards after the catch, deep passes, yards before the line, all that type of good stuff, rushing and all that, Goff's exactly shit at everything except yards after the catch, whereas EPA just skyrockets. So it's a little concerning seeing that.
That sounds like an Amon-Ra stat, not a Goff stat.
Well, and I think my thing with Goff is I feel like he's just kind of like what we've seen of him is like the maxed out version of him. Like I don't know that he has a higher ceiling than what he's shown at his best point. And the problem is Yeah, and the problem is that you don't know that you're getting that always. Like it's been relatively consistent, more consistent than I think people expected. But it's just not. It's not. To me, I'm betting. I'd rather bet on somebody who has upside, like a Caleb or a Stroud or someone like that, who like might not be tapped out at what they can be, than I would to go with a person like Golf. But I know that is a little bit of like personal
I feel like
approach.
it's just personal bias, and then just I really like JT.
I didn't say bias, Lippy. I mean, come on.
I really like JT. I'm a big JT fan. Is it smart to buy running backs? No. But do I really like JT? Yes.
If your belief is that you're competing for playoffs next year, that makes that
Well,
certainly makes a lot more sense.
let's talk about why this all happened, though, Alexander.
Okay.
At this point in the year, 4 weeks in,
This
my
surprised
max points for was first by a long shot. I ended up with the 107 and not even close to the playoffs.
Right.
And my record was the third worst in the league because I had so much random depth of rookies.
Picks, yeah.
I had so much random depth of rookies. It was either just sit and get the 107 and then the 107 next year and the year after that, or try and make something happen. Is this probably the right way to do it? Who knows? We'll know next year when I make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same spot as you, where although I probably wasn't near anywhere in max points for, but I got to a point with my team where I was like, okay, what are we actually doing here? I've got a bunch of aging pieces. We're not competing. Like we gotta make something shake. And that's what led to me, making the trades I did.
In the end of the day, I mean, I don't. Just the max PF issue really kind of just put me in a bind because I was really banking on that pick being kind of to the top this year, and it wasn't even going to be close. So we're still relatively young. Obviously, Jacobs and JT are our two oldest players on the team.
Yeah, and again, like I said, for me, this trade comes down to how do you feel about Goff and JT? I'm a pronounced hater of those two players, so obviously I don't like it. But for anyone that doesn't, it's probably a fine trade. I also, certainly at the time, it looked like JSN was having real struggles actually becoming a part of the offense. I think those are a little bit less pronounced worries now, but I think, I don't know about y'all, I'd be interested for a temperature check.
I think JSN will be fine.
I think he's going to be fine.
As the guy who just played CMC for us yesterday.
I think the perceived ceiling of him has certainly cooled off a little bit compared to where we were this time last year.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Like, I do think that the ceiling, people are more down on him than they probably were last year. But I do think he's shown enough to feel good about
having made
his role. Yeah.
I'd ask you this though, Alexander. How do you guys feel about Dobbs and Kirk though? Because those are both guys in the trade.
I dislike them also.
Wow.
Yeah. But again, that is a personal belief, not one based on data. So it is worth as much as the paper you wipe your ass with. So, yeah.
Well, we got some more trades, I think.
Well, no, we're not even.
Oh, and then we can.
Are you sure?
Taxi's locked. So then I've just got players on my team, and I can't do anything except either drop them or trade them for nothing.
We're going to get to a fun one here. So I think this one was for 2 fab. I acquired Michael Gallup and Darius Slayton. Then this is my favorite one. For a single fab, I acquired Devin Singletary, who we thought at the time was going to be worthless. I like this trade.
Which I actually, I don't know if I said it when you made it, but I've been a big Devin Singletary fan since FAU. I was worried when he signed with the Texans, but yeah, I mean that turned out well.
I've been the biggest Devin Singletary truther. I love Devin Singletary.
Lippy has always been on Team Devin, and this was.
Yeah, I was baffling when you did that. Then
I had no choice. I couldn't put people on taxi.
Yeah.
And then this next one caused an uproar for some reason, and I still don't understand it. People were pissed. I gave away Wan'Dale Robinson.
What did I get? Like 69 fab or something for this? Yeah. I like that we did all
That
of
was one of the
these fab trades on the 28th, and then the next day we're like, oh, well, let's do this one too.
People lost their minds over that.
Quentin Johnston, I acquired him for a second.
I was happy to trade him away for anything.
Yeah.
He's not good. I'll die on that hill.
I think he's good.
If he can't get targets over, what's his name? Fucking Jalen Guyton.
Yeah,
it's irrelevant.
It's been tough. I will say what we were saying about JSM, where you feel about him now versus like it's still miles further than where people are at with Quentin Johnston right now.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and so I think realistically, Quentin Johnston does have another chance. Obviously, there's going to be a completely new regime from the general manager on down. I mean, I think they fired most of their assistant coaches too. So
yeah, they're firing everybody.
Yeah. So,
but A&F, the problem is he can't even command targets when Jalen Guyton is his biggest.
All I'm saying
biggest competition.
Is this off season, this training camp, he'll have a chance with the new guys that come in. Whether that's maybe he wasn't as conditioned as he needed to be. Whatever it is, he'll have one more real shot to become involved with the offense. Because I think that, the Chargers are going to look a lot different, and the way they do things is going to look a lot different. So I don't think the door is closed on him, but it's swinging shut, and he's got to keep it open. So
exactly why I was very happy just to get anything for it.
Yeah.
And your second next year, realistically, probably front half, maybe 105 or 205.
No. They're completely false. But okay, you trade away. This is kind of a nothing.
That was a smash. Yes, trade. Get a Tyler Boyd in a fourth for a running back that's irrelevant. Yes.
Tyler Boyd is a G League champion. Okay.
Now we get interesting. 103. So I got the 103 and 2. What Curn finish?
See,
209.
I didn't. I would make this trade again. I did not quite know what was going to happen with Tate's team.
It was pretty locked into the 103 at that point, sir.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know. That was pretty bad pretty early on.
Yeah. I mean, this is end of November.
Yeah.
Laporte
is fucking awesome, and
absolutely is.
But
I don't think you'll be sad with Laporte, sir.
Well, he's gone.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say whoever has him won't be sad.
Yeah. All right. Big trade with Jay Pauley.
I think we. Yes. Jaden Reed is a sore spot in this.
Or should I say champion Jay Pauley, league winning Jay Pauley?
Jay Champ.
That's right.
If it would have been Dobbs instead of Reed, I think I'd be a lot happier about this trade. Getting Addison in that first though, and that first I ended up using to get the 104. I'm very happy with. But
how do you feel trading away Love though? That had to hurt.
Did I want to trade away Love? No. No, yeah. But just getting Addison there, it just felt like such an upgrade, and the extra first. 24 second. Whose second is that? That's Jay Pauley's then? No, that's mine. No, it's Jay Pauley's second, so that's the 212.
No, it's my second.
No, the one I got, though, for this year.
Oh, yeah.
Really, just if it would have been Dobbs instead of Reed, I'd feel great about this trade right now. Addison looks awesome.
You're lower on Dobbs than Reed?
Yeah, without a doubt. Reed, sir, I don't know if you've seen the number
I have seen.
Well, no, what's the stat? It's like 800 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. We're talking Jamar Chase. We're talking Tyreek Hill. We're talking Chase Claypool. We're talking studs, except Chase Claypool.
I was going to say, yes, all studs, no exceptions. Everyone has panned out.
But yeah, it's like a list of like 10 names, though. Everyone's panned out but Chase Claypool. So Reed's stats are just absolutely lovely this year. But yeah, I figured I wanted to get rid of Reed instead of Dobbs, and yeah, shouldn't have done it.
Well, does it concern you with Addison's possible QB situation going? I mean, I think they'll bring back Kirk, but
they'll do something. They're not going to let J Jits walk, and they'll figure out something for that QB situation.
See, I
So
think
I'm ecstatic. And then if you think about the fact that I used that first in HN to get the 104, which is just a fucking incredible pick there.
I don't know what Vegas has to say about this. I think that, and I could just be wrong about this, depending on your view of this player. I think that could be a good landing spot for Russ. Is Minnesota? Because
I would hate that.
really, I think
Yeah.
Russ has still got it. I'm not laying.
Based on what?
I don't know. He was all right this year. I really don't. I'm really not
He,
putting it. I'm not saying he was perfect, but he was playing good ball, especially
they minimized him as much as they possibly could, and he still didn't look fantastic. Yeah, I agree. He cut down the turnovers and then absolutely murdered them all the time with them. But he was not good.
Well,
Wow. I'd like to point out a trade that did happen in DGen with Mr. Hulu Stonks. Russ for Pittman and 3 firsts.
Yeah, I make fun of Kyle for that all the time.
I think about that every day.
It's hilarious.
That's a tough cookie. I mean, I would say that's not as tough as the pits for 4 firsts, though.
It might have been 5. Shit, who knows?
That is the rockiest cookie that I've ever seen.
What is this?
The
Andy giving up 5.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That was insane.
Yeah, that one's. Because imagine if he had those picks. What could have been?
I prefer not to imagine that.
Yeah, I mean that is scary. Yeah, he basically just said, "All right, the league has a chance." Lippy, you acquired
Next trade was just a lovely trade. I mean, I was ecstatic to do that, and I'm sure Razorfish loved Flacco.
I think that's a great trade for both. All right. Now, this is, out of all the trades you've looked at, Lippy, I've been watching you zig. This is a zag. So, you're competing to try to go and be in playoffs next year, and you trade away Devon A-Chain. Talk me through it.
It's a product of, I have JT,
right?
Jacobs,
Right.
and Ken Walker, and Brian Robinson. 4 awesome running backs and Brian Robinson.
Sure.
You can't start them all.
That's true.
I hate depth.
I think it boils down to Lippy not being an A-Chain believer.
And
that's probably.
I saw a chance to trade a rookie running back that I think might be a little overhyped, and pretty much. I mean, I'd be shocked if it's not a late first next year in Jay Pauly's first for the 104. I'd do this trade again tomorrow, today, right now, in 5 seconds. I was ecstatic to do this trade. I was through the moon to get the 104, and I got the 212 too. Fuck. Wait, 211, even better.
Wait. That's
Razorfish is second. It's the 211.
Okay.
So I got the 104 and 211 for HN and a late first next year. The 104.
You're getting Hoots first this year.
The 104 and the 211 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a late first next year.
Paulie's late first. I've got you. Yeah. Okay.
I'd do that trade so many times. I love this draft class. I mean, we're talking. I've talked with Tate about it. Tate can take whoever he wants there at 103. I'm going to be a happy camper at 104.
Yeah, this is a really fun draft.
I mean, you have May, you have Caleb, you have Marvin. 1, 2, 3. What? So I get Neighbors at 4. I get Jaden at 4. Or that's 5 players there. I'd be ecstatic to have. I feel like so whatever Tate does, good job.
Your team need is wide receiver, I believe.
My team need is wide receiver and quarterback. So we'll get 1 at 4 and 1 at 7 probably.
Now, your team need is wide receiver. You trade away Chris Olave here.
Wow. I think about this trade often. I'm curious how Tate thinks, because I think this is an absolute great trade for me.
I really don't like this trade for you.
Here's my thing. I think Olave was the best player in this deal.
I do too.
We don't know I'm getting 11.
I don't need to. I think Dotson is not good.
Wow.
Charbonnet, I mean, as I've said on numerous occasions, I'm not the biggest Charbonnet guy. I won't fault you too much for it just because I see it as a Ken Walker head.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
So I
is it?
get
It
it,
absolutely is. Yes.
but yeah. So for me, it's in the 2026 second. I mean, you'll trade that before I'm done with this sentence, so I'm not even factoring that in.
Can't if we have a
Um,
trading open.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just higher on Olave, and I think that
Oh, I
of the
think Olave
quote
is great.
yeah, but like of the quote proven guys you get back, he's easily better than any of those. And
Yeah.
then
See, it's more like again, I love this draft class. 111. I'm ecstatic to have, and I'm happy to have Charbonnet and Dodson.
see, to me, I think Dotson and Charbonnet don't add that much to your team. They just give you unnecessary depth. When I'd rather have Olave like a premier player. And yeah, I mean the 111. If you turn that into one of the quarterbacks falls that far and like that fixes a hole in your team, then it looks a lot better. But yeah, as it stands right now, the proven pieces you have, I don't like it that much.
I feel very good that I'm going to get 2 quarterbacks and a receiver in this draft class.
You might, but if the quarterback is Bo Nix, I'm feeling a lot less good about that.
I'd cry myself to sleep tonight.
Yeah, so would I.
I probably about to say I probably would too. Yeah. Well, those are your fuckfest trades for the year, Lippy. Obviously, a lot is up in the air. Uh,
I want to know. I don't want to get too far off track here, but seeing the Achan trade, Libby, the Achan for Pittman swap in DGen.
I'm still. And so that's. Ex- Do I like Pittman more? Probably. But that DGen squad just has so much receiver just use that I need running backs.
Yeah,
Have the 106. We have quarterback. I mean, I know how you feel about the quarterbacks, but we have. I mean, we have Stafford, we have Baker, we have Stroud, and we have Levis. We are golden at quarterback in that league, sir. And we have the 106. We need running back help, and if HN is really good, like it looks like he might be possibly, this team, dare I say, making playoffs next year, sir. And I know you can say whatever you want, sir. We finished 7-1 to end the season in regular season. 7 wins,
that's
1
true.
loss. We won 7 of 8 games in the regular season in this league, and that was without HN. So we'll
Yeah,
take it.
yeah. I guess I don't know. I'm not.
I understand, but
Yeah,
also Pittman's 26, and he hasn't posted a top 10 season yet.
I'm pretty sure he has.
Has he? I was
Yeah,
just talking out my head there. Has he?
yeah.
Top
I
10,
think so.
top 10 season? I don't think so.
Oh no, not top 10. He was
He was 13 this year.
he was 13 this year. Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 for 1100, or 100 catches for 1100 yards and 4 tutties. So what, you get that up to 10 tutties, and then I mean, he's got to get those tutties up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's. I
And
think with
with
AR coming back, it'll be disgusting.
so let's just play devil's advocate here, though. It takes him some time to acclimate. All of a sudden, he's 28, and we're saying the same thing next year, and he still hasn't had a top 10 season. I
Yeah,
and I probably do prefer Pittman. Don't get me wrong. You know, I can talk all the shit I want about it, but it was more just a roster construction thing, and I wanted a 21-year-old running back that might be awesome. 22-year-old
yeah.
running
No,
back.
I was in a similar spot, but the inverse in that I had a bunch of running backs and was bad off at receiver. So
Yeah, no,
I think it'll
it
end up
makes sense.
working out for both.
I'm very happy with it. I mean, ETN and HN, we still have Flowers. We still have, I mean, Godwin, Sutton. They score points.
Yeah, that's true.
I,
Sutton is yeah.
I'm very happy with who just joined us. It would be the FBA 8th place finisher, Andrew Waters.
Oh, what an intro. Um, let's see here. Let's give him a minute to get adjusted. You know what trade I do love is Kern's only fuckfest trade of 2023. It's
That
his,
trade, I think about that trade all the time. It makes me so happy.
yeah. Keenan Allen for a 25 first and a 24 third. What a
Also, you got the third
Oh,
added in
God.
too.
I insisted upon it.
Curn fired one trade bullet and it was a blank. Oh.
Keenan didn't even put in a
Oh, that was beautiful work by Mr.
Hey, I
T.
don't. Has Keenan even played since that trade happened? I'm not sure that he has.
Yeah, he played once, maybe twice. I think he got hurt in the second game after that trade.
Yeah, that's
He had like a total
love
of 10
to see that.
catches for like 150 yards after that, and then he missed the remainder of the season in the playoffs.
I just
Yeah,
looked
Curn is never going to trade with me again, but that was worth it.
That was his only trade of the year for all of 23. This was his trade.
Well, but the best part is there was a counterpart to that trade executed a couple weeks before or after. I think it was before in DGen for Keenan as well.
Right. Yeah.
They both
Oh, wait, was
spectacularly
there?
flopped.
Yeah.
Who traded for him in DGen?
Let me pull up the trade.
Keenan.
Oh, what?
That's Josh Allen. Oh,
What?
Kern.
Oh, wow, the more
God.
famous
that was
K.
good.
Allen.
That was him giving up the 102. Kern gave up the 102 for.
No
He moved
way.
down. He moved down from 102 to like 109 or something. I think.
What was it? What did Hippo's first end up being?
Oh, it
109.
may have been 12. I think it may have been.
Oh,
12.
yeah, it was 12. It was 12.
Yeah.
That's
Not great.
nasty work.
Dobbs is nothing. I mean,
All right, Dobbs is some stuff.
No, not after that trade. He didn't.
Well, true.
Let's see. I kind of.
hey, do you still need Cam Akers like that team name says?
No, and some would say I never did.
Let's see here. Let's look. There are a few trades. Let's see, Mr. Waters. This is all unimportant, really. Well, we talked about this one. That was back at the draft.
Have we covered my DGen trade? Me and Kyle's DGen trade.
Let's get DGen pulled up. I love that I got a
Let's
fourth.
do a little DGen work.
Let's do a little DGen.
That's just because Andy is insane and can't quit Jonu. That's what that is.
I did it for the logo.
Okay.
Call it what you will.
Oh, the Kyron
OTL tight ends
That's pretty
sounded like it rolled off the tongue at the time.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful.
Kyron trade was nice. That's a real nice trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Kyron?
Yeah, I can't believe you were hesitant on that.
Andy doesn't trade for running backs.
Well, no, I don't trade with Kyle because Kyle does nothing but snake people. And so he, sua sponte, no text message, just drops in my inbox at like, I don't know, week 6, week 7, like long enough into the season for everyone to know that all these guys were legit. He drops me Devin Singletary right as the Damian Pierce plane was crashing and burning. So that one, I guess, was a little bit early. But Devin Singletary and then 2 other pieces of a 3-player package for Lippy's second rounder, which ended up becoming part of this Kyron Williams deal. And I think it's like the 2.01 or 2 or something, but I don't know.
205, yes.
Oh, then it wasn't yours. No, I'm sorry. It was She Never Seen's. It was She Never Seen's second that he wanted.
It's the 202.
Right, that's the 202. And I countered with Lippy's second because it's 205. And anyway, this deal didn't end up getting done. But the other 2 pieces of this 3-player fucking package, besides Devin Singletary, were goddamn Rashad White and Kyron Williams.
Wow.
All I had to do was give up that stupid pick that I ended up giving up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
this is
hurt.
where I'd like to remind you that that same Kyle fella paid 3 first and Michael Pittman for Russell Wilson 2 years ago.
Oh no, we remind him of that on a daily basis.
I said the same. I was like, I tell him that anytime it's mentioned. Like, hey, Kyle, remember this?
Anytime any of those players comes up, just in general.
Wait.
Like,
Is that
world.
Andrews for Komet, Wando Robinson, and the 205? Or
That's right.
second next year? Wow.
I mean, that's irresponsible.
What happened there?
Andy hates that deal for me.
That's,
do you
think
that's
it's a bad deal.
impossible. That's impossible. That's not
I
true.
do think it's a bad deal for Mr. Tate.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's.
I think I made out like a bandit in that, to be quite honest.
Tate should be in handcuffs for this. This should be illegal.
That was after the injury too, and I'd still do it right now today.
Yeah.
So we're just giving up on Komet?
I mean, he's just mid.
It's not giving up on Komet. It's that it's Mark Andrews.
If you were to force us to make a list, what Komet's probably the tight end 12 in Dynasty?
No,
he's higher.
He's way higher than that.
He's higher than 12. He's higher than 12.
Njoku is like 6. He's right.
McBride, Laporta,
He's not 12.
Andrews, Njoku, Ingram.
He's probably like 8, maybe 9.
He's definitely above Kittle. I think that's Kittle and Njoku are like the break points there.
I think that's fair. He's not 12, Lippy.
Maybe 11.
In fact, he's not. He's so not 12. He's 29, man. He's old.
Well, who would you guys prefer, Pitts or Komet?
Cool.
Shit.
That's tough.
I would. This is not nice, but I would take Komet.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay,
I'm addicted to the upside of Pitts, so I would probably take Pitts, but I recognize that that's probably a mistake.
What about Ingram and Goddard?
I, out of principle, can't take Ingram because I gave him to Andy for a second rounder. So I will say Goddard, yes. Ingram, no.
Okay, Hawkinson's a no question. Kelsey, he's going to retire, so we're not even going to count him. Kincaid's a no question. Kittle, we're saying is below. Freiermuth's below. Ferguson probably going to be below or right with. So he's 10 and 9, 10.
I think there are people who would take Komet over Kincaid.
That's wild.
I don't know if I'd do that.
I thought about it. I think I would still take Kincaid, but that gave me pause.
Yeah, I'll say it's close, only because I can understand, like, if you just worry about how the things in Buffalo are going. But
yep.
I think
recording right now, Alexander?
Kincaid.
We are, yeah.
Okay, I would take Pitts over Kincaid every day of the week right now.
Wait, you would take Pitts over Kincaid?
Every day of the week right now.
Oh, man, I don't
Pitts
know
is still a year younger than him.
I would not do that. I'm so out on Pitts, though. And I was never in, so that helps.
I was in and got burned, so I may be out on that.
Yeah, we got it cemented. Love it.
I'm hooked on Pitts as well.
He's 23.
That's tough.
Pitts' best season is still better than Kincaid's rookie year. Like, what are we saying? Pitts is
Wait. But that's not a fair comparison. Pitts' best season is better than every rookie year since 2003.
Exactly. Pitts is good. Keep scrolling, Alexander.
I agree.
So we just talked about this Keenan Allen trade.
I mean, she never seen just absolutely made out like a bandit there.
Yeah, this what the fuck?
Wait, why was there first involved there?
I messaged she never and was like, how in the world did you get a first rounder out of him?
This must have been after like the Will Levis game. This must have been like that week.
God, I don't know.
There are people that really bought into Titans hype that week for Levis and Hopkins. Who knows?
No, No one did.
Hello. Hit
Oh,
me.
this is Hulu getting off the rush train. Okay.
Yeah.
This was Lakers fan pushing all his chips in, even though he completely missed the playoffs.
Wait, I forgot about this.
Lakers fans
I
in a tough
love
spot.
that deal for Kyle.
Yeah.
Lakers fans picked us the
God.
106 this year, so I mean, he's got to make the playoffs for that trade. Even I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
this is the league where Kyle gave up like four
This-
first
yeah.
to you for us, right? And
Yeah,
Pittman in 3 years of first.
this is a nice
so
redemption
I think
arc.
just
Yeah.
I think recouping 2 of those firsts is huge.
Yeah. Big
yeah.
And keep in mind, Lakers fan first was the sixth pick this year.
Yeah.
So if it's
That's
the sixth pick
incredible.
next year, that's awesome.
I mean that could legit be
That's a big deal.
that could be Odunza, however you pronounce his name, or Bowers.
Well,
And
it's
I don't.
2020,
Wait, no, that's
2025,
in
2026.
2025.
I have Lakers fans.
2025.
I have Lakers fans. Pick
Oh,
this.
22. Oh, okay, so it's the 2.05
Yeah.
or 6.
Yeah.
Whoa! Anthony
never mind.
Richardson. How did Kyle get Richardson?
Yeah, he went full.
He hooked the 105 for Richardson. Oh, and
Yeah.
Purdy.
Yeah.
Oh, and Purdy. Wow. 105 and Purdy for Richardson.
Do y'all think Judy is talking
He's
point
cooked.
in that trade?
Judy's in there. Oh,
I don't think anyone
No.
cares about Judy.
No.
Me neither.
Especially not the Broncos.
Stu's is like the 205, I think. 204. Wait. I think 204, 205. So, interesting. Got Richardson. That's nice, though.
Jacobs for a 25 first.
That's about his value, sadly.
I think getting a first for Jacobs in this economy is you got to do it.
I would
You
agree.
just got to do it.
I would agree.
Unless you're going down with a ship, get out.
I don't think you can fault someone for trying to acquire him if they're trying to make a push, but
No, I think I think Jacobs has a lot left in the tank. I think he's really good. I think he's super undervalued there for a win now.
yeah,
I
think that's a good selling.
push. The issue in the leagues where I'm in now and had his contract offered to me is that the seller always wants more than a first, and there's just Jacobs is like the definition of a guy you can't count on to be there in December. So yeah, it's great to have that regular season production, but feels like he's always banged up by the end of the year.
Wow.
So the
It's a
105,
blockbuster.
Wow.
105, Tate's first. Holy shit.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Is this the Lamar
Wait,
deal? I'm not
Tyreek?
looking.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, Tyreek was in this trade. Why was Tyreek in this trade?
Well, the first. What do you mean?
But Lamar's in the trade.
Yeah.
Lamar didn't fetch a single trade offer this offseason.
So that's the 105. What's Hulu and Tate's picks and
I
DGen?
don't know why Tate
I-
hates Lamar so much.
I love Lamar. How dare you?
Papa
I
Eve
did what I had
Papa
to
Eve is an
do.
early second. Tate's is a late. Tate's is late, isn't it?
Mine's late, yeah. I think mine's
110.
maybe 110, 19, somewhere
So
around
then
there.
what's Hulu's pick? Hulu was 2-12. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. You love Lamar. That's right. Okay. All right.
What's Hulu's pick is higher then, isn't it?
This is a phenomenal.
Yeah,
trade.
his
Hulu's pick
is.
is so 103, 105, and
Yeah.
110. Wow.
That's a great trade.
I don't know. 103, 105, 110 is a lot of fun. But Tyreek and Lamar is a lot of fun
It's
too.
Tyreek and Lamar. I don't think it's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's close.
103. I mean that's going to help
And
Hulu for a
talk about
while.
the catharsis of getting Treylon Burks off your roster.
Hey, listen, if you think that didn't factor in, it sure did. Yeah, I mean, my thought, and obviously I didn't know what those picks were going to end up being, but like if you look at it now, that's either maybe like a Marvin Harrison and Jaden Daniels, which would be a nice combo, but it's like for where my team was at, why take the risk? I'll just take Tyreek and I'll take Lamar.
No,
I would love it if Jaden Daniels turns into Lamar, but I've got Lamar at home.
Yeah.
No, it's a great. It's no.
I love that trade.
No, I think the one I'm going to end up regretting is that one to some
You
extent.
acquired Kelsey.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, look, it propelled me to wins this year. Don't get me wrong. So, like, I
No, it
wouldn't
did not.
fully. Oh, it did.
What are you
It
talking
did.
about?
It did. Also,
Really,
I made
Kelsey,
that.
though?
But, yeah.
How did that? Am I missing something? This is DGen, right?
Yes.
You didn't win shit.
I mean, I'm saying, like, I got wins from having
He
him on
would
my
have won
roster.
if he won the semis. He would have won the finals.
That's true. But
That is
Instead
true.
he
You
came
can't
in
deny that.
I would argue the wins added. Like Kelsey, you would have won regardless with Hill. You know I didn't like this trade from the jump.
I understand, but you realize,
clear
look at the
vision.
order of these trades. Also,
Yeah,
I mean,
you got Kelsey, Tyreek, and Lamar within 4 days of each other. You had a clear vision here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I do the Lamar deal, if I have the thought to do the Lamar deal before it may be that I feel good enough about my team where I feel like I don't need to do the Kelsey
Wait, did you
deal.
acquire Andrews in this league too?
Yeah.
Jesus. And you have Bijan and Brees. Wow, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, the trade
Yeah, his team
before
is
this,
ridiculost stacked.
the trade
Oh, and
before
you got
this,
Pittman.
you
Wow.
acquired Kyler.
Oh,
And you
I
got
love
Watt.
that.
Wow.
I'm fucking amped about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. For the 112 and a late second, jeez.
Kyler's at basement
I mean,
value
it was
for no
Dobbs'
reason.
team. It was
Yeah.
Dobbs'
It was.
team back then.
It was. Everyone knows it. It was Dobbs'
Oh my
team.
God.
Jesus.
Yeah, this
Tate,
is.
you want to just drop all your players in DGen maybe?
No. This team I like. If it's Fuckfest, you can have whoever pretty much.
Well, if
I've
only
considered
I think
outright dropping the Packers running backs. I really have. I've given it so much thought.
you're not trading him to anybody.
I know.
Okay, but seriously, Tate, what would you accept for Travis Kelsey's contract right now?
He's retiring.
Any
I'm
first.
convinced.
A first, probably a second.
He's retired. He's not going to play
A
next year.
second?
He's not playing next year.
Wait, you think he's retiring this offseason?
He's not retired.
He's not retiring this offseason, so that's why I'm saying like a first. It would have to be a high second, but a first I think would be where I'd be at with it.
Dude's about to be 35. He's retiring.
He's not
I
retiring.
don't think he's retiring. I think he'll play
He's not.
one more year.
You think he and Jason Kelsey are going to retire at the same time?
Yes.
Just don't think so.
We have it cemented on a podcast now. This next trade I would still do today.
Which trade is this?
The Pitts and
Oh God, I hated this one.
What's this?
It's the 106.
Yeah, I mean, I like
yeah,
this.
if it's the 106, that's
I
it's
like
the
that.
106.
not bad.
Yeah, I like this trade, Lippy.
So you got the 106,
wait,
Watson, Dotson, Firemouth.
Hold on. I'm just looking ahead. Darius Slayton for a 24-second.
Yeah, buddy.
What's going on over here?
I might be more
The
proud
hippo
of that
was
than
horny.
anything if we're being totally honest.
Now that's all right. Now
That and the Jimmy G trade I pulled off is also one that's coming up. I don't want to spoil anything.
Wow, spoilers.
Lippy, any lasting comments on this Pitts and Higgins
It's
trade?
the 106. I'm the 106.
I completely agree. I loved that.
Wow, just
It does look better
Wait,
now
can I
after
play-
the season.
Lippy, would you do that deal giving up Higgins and Pitts for just the pick? Because I think I would.
Andy, you didn't hear my spiel earlier.
I
was giving a spiel about the 107. After the 107, I don't know how I feel. I still like the players. Those first 7 players I love.
Yeah.
So good.
Tell Andy about your McCaffrey trade.
I took over an orphan yesterday, Andy. The orphan's in rough shape, so it does have its own picks,
It's really
thankfully.
tough. Yeah.
But the team was McCaffrey, Eckler, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Everyone else is irrelevant. It owned the 102, so have the 102. Traded McCaffrey and Keenan Allen yesterday. Got the 107 and JSN.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you some of the trades that got rejected. I tried to get McCaffrey for the 105, 205, 211, and Tank Dell, rejected.
Woof.
McCaffrey and Adams for Tank Dell, the 105 and 205, rejected.
Wow.
McCaffrey and Keenan for JSN, the 107, 208, rejected.
Woof.
I mean, Tate was shocked those three got rejected.
Yeah, this draft class is so top heavy. I feel like we're kind of reaching a sort of inflection point in dynasty leagues where it's really about to flip the balance of power, and people are aware, and it's not. So I guess it probably is best for you to just get out a year early on CMC, ensure that you're going to continue the tank job, hope that you get one of those top 7.
Andy, I mean,
you're going to get one of those top 7 guys.
We're talking Jaden, you're talking May, you're talking Caleb, you're talking Marvin, you're talking Neighbors, you're talking Bowers, and then who's the 7th?
It's going to be Rome.
Rome. You could, I mean,
right.
Another quarterback in an amazing situation. I mean, there's too many options.
Bowers, probably.
Bowers. There you go.
Yeah.
It's the 7th pick is an absolute lovely spot.
Right. Yeah, I don't hate that because, I mean, Christian's turning, 27?
28.
No, he's not turning 28.
27 right now, isn't he?
I don't think so. I think he's 26.
27.
If he's not 20,
he's 27.
He just turned 27. Like, this will be his age 27 season coming up, is what I'm saying.
June 7th birthday. No, he'll be 28 before the season starts next year.
Wow, 2 days from
really?
Great.
Yeah, June birthday. So, I mean, kind of same concept, but he'll be 28 before the year starts.
No,
basically retired.
So he's got one more. He's got one more good season, maybe a year and a half.
And it's definitely not going to be like this season.
Yeah, he's got two more good seasons. They won't be as good as this one, but they will be good, and that's okay, Lippy, with what you're trying to do. I can't believe those other trades got turned down.
I really wanted to.
I can't either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to get a quarterback, I can understand why you wouldn't want to give up the 1.05 for a running back going into his age 28 season.
Yeah.
But, it's crazy. It's amazing how quickly the pick liquidity flips from December to January.
Yeah.
It really is. It's kind of nuts. Like I feel like people are so willing to move draft picks like during the year, and then as soon as the season ends, they become worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
But this year more so than past years, I feel, and maybe that's my own personal biases playing in. But
no, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really.
I think the hype
was
for
clinging
Phoenix and JJ McCarthy after this national title game is going to hit a fever pitch, and then they both go top 20 in the NFL draft, and it's just they're going to get pushed up draft boards high, and it's going to be crazy what happens with these rookie picks. We'll see. But I mean, we're talking 5 quarterbacks are going top 20 this year.
Yeah, and then you got Bo Nix, who's going to set the league on fire. So
I will not be drafting Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I don't know if those guys go top 20, and I also don't know. I don't know that Bo Nix doesn't go first round.
JJ's going top 20.
Wait, Andy, you told me JJ might go top 10.
JJ's
going
top
but then
20,
he didn't.
Going top 20 before the semis. JJ's totally
did not. I don't think he's flashed like the pro skill set that I thought he would this year.
As someone who's watched every single Michigan game, JJ's a great quarterback.
Okay.
So obviously this is just one website's. This is a mock that got released by PFF. Interested in what y'all think about this. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 quarterbacks going by pick 11.
Oh, no way.
I think I saw something that the top 10 picks were all offensive players with only 2 tackles.
That's what this draft has.
The mock drafts are just absolutely going wild right now. But it also had the Jets taking a receiver.
Which will not
Yeah,
happen.
that's crazy.
This mock has them taking a tackle, which makes a lot of sense.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
This mock has New England trading up to take Caleb. The Commanders taking Drake May. The Giants taking Jaden Daniels. That seems crazy.
I don't see that one.
The Falcons.
The one I sent you, Alexander, had the Falcons
Phoenix.
taking Jaden. Nick's going 11. Jesus Christ.
They have Bo Nix going to the Broncos at 10, and then
Dude, Bo Nix is going to get somebody fired. Possibly shoot somebody.
They've got JJ going to the Raiders at 11. So they've got all 5 of those guys going by pick 11. Obviously, there's no way of knowing if that's anywhere close to accurate. Obviously, a lot will change. But, I mean, that's why this draft of quarterbacks reminds me so much of the T-Law year. Just because I think that it's setting itself up to be a real disappointment. Oh, let me see this. I just got your text, Lippy.
Or 2018, where you had the Baker, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Lamar, that whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I think people are dreaming of 2020, where you have Tua, Herbert, Jordan Love, Hurts, and everybody.
That's a beautiful tweet you just sent me, Lippy. I don't know if I've made this known to y'all, but since a little bit before Thanksgiving, I've decided Rome is my favorite receiver in the draft, and Lippy's supplying my hype by sending me tweets just praising him.
That sucks. Now I got to be out on Rome.
Okay, Andy Tate, question for you guys. Over under 1 running back taken in rookie drafts in the top 10 picks.
Under.
Yeah.
So under means we think fewer than 1, yeah?
Yeah, 1 would be, I guess you could say push.
Yeah.
We'll set it at half a running back in the top 10 picks.
I'd go under.
Under as well.
Absolutely. Wow. Love this.
I mean, I'm sure that there will be one in the first round of rookie draft, but top 10. I just think it's going to be so this year out of any others. I think receiver and quarterback is going to be so heavy, and you throw in Bowers, and I just don't. I don't see it.
Okay, so depending how the combine goes and what happens in the draft, Braylon Allen, though, he might sneak his way up into the first round. 19 years old and everything. Dude was 17 and fucking up college guys. Dude is a man right now.
Who is like another one? I full confession, I don't even know who all the running backs that are coming out in this class are.
I know. So Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Crap. Who else? I mean,
Travion's coming back,
declared.
right?
Yeah, he's coming. Well, he hasn't declared yet, but people have said he's going to come back.
I know the Texas guy is coming out. He announced that today. Brooks.
Yeah,
I like him, but
there's Blake Corum, which I mean, I don't see how he's a great NFL running back, but who knows?
Yeah, I like Corum, but I won't claim to know how that skill set will translate.
People are going to take Troy Franklin and Keon Coleman and all them over him every day of the week.
And the receivers are too loaded.
Quarterbacks. I mean, the running backs might not even go over under 1 running back in the first round.
I do think 1 will go in the first. Someone's going to end up in a good spot, and people will talk themselves into it.
They might not. There might not be. I mean, I haven't seen the mocks, but is the running back even going to go in the top round and a half of the NFL draft?
Of the NFL draft, I don't know, but I do see one going in the first round of rookie draft.
Yeah, at the 11th
I
or
doubt
12th,
it.
maybe 10 spot. Maybe. Just depending on someone might hop the gun on team need.
Listen, if
Yeah.
5 quarterbacks go in the first round, those 5 quarterbacks are going in the rookie draft first round.
And then you have Marvin
We're looking at
Powers, Neighbors.
4 elite wide receivers / tight ends, and like you said, Marvin, Neighbors, Bowers, Rome,
Troy
and then you got
Franklin,
Keon,
Coleman.
Troy Franklin. You had the other LSU kid who apparently might sneak in the first
Brian
round.
Thomas.
Oh, he's good.
I mean, there's just
sucks. No one drafted him.
my thing is, I don't think anybody's taking a second round real NFL draft running back over a first round wide receiver or tight end.
Yep. Facts.
In the first round of a rookie draft.
Yeah, I always like sneaky go low because of all what happened with Pitts.
I think people will still, because I mean Kincaid went crazy high in rookie drafts, and like the Pitt stuff didn't hurt him.
And people are going to be looking for the next.
But the problem is we're talking. There's going to be 3 or 4 of those quarterbacks. I mean, already 2 of them. May and Caleb already.
Laporta. People are going to be wanting the next rookie sensation.
Yeah,
especially in tight end plus leagues.
Well, how do you guys feel? By the way, Bevo hates Neighbors. He thinks he's
insane.
He thinks he's Terrace Marshall, and
God, that hurts my soul to hear. I love Terrace Marshall.
Terrace Marshall was really good, so I'm actually happy to hear that.
Wow, you know who Alexander loved? Kerryon Johnson.
Yikes, I sure did.
Hey, he did some stuff.
He's doing stuff.
And then
he's
didn't.
Coach Kerryon now.
Oh, Coach Kerryon.
Hey, while we're on the topic of fantasy football,
at Coach Kerryon on Twitter, baby.
What was that, Lippy?
Can you switch over to a league for me real quick that we can talk about the playoffs in?
Yeah, what's that? What league?
Starts with F, ends in BA.
Okay. I think it's this one.
Hey, can you just click on the playoffs for me? Oh, I just want to know what Andy thinks about this playoffs. What happened here?
Where
he switched it over.
It's already been moved over. The evidence has been destroyed.
Wow.
We'll never know.
We'll never know if a team went 0-3 in the playoffs.
Oh, look at previous leagues, 23. Oof.
Wow, what's that?
Oof.
I will say, Libby, me and Andy had a good laugh at the thought that we might not appreciate you making a team in this league competitive. Like, that would be the worst thing to ever happen to us.
We had people quitting this league left and right because of the lack of parity in this league.
And people who didn't quit were apathetic toward their own team. Yeah, it was, but oh no, Lippy turned the team around.
Wow.
Absolutely, just beautiful. That was a great week 15. Wow. I was told Fields was him. I was told a lot of things. And then Goff outscores his entire team. Quentin Johnson outscores Chase. Wow.
Which, speaking of Fields, now that Andy's here, Andy is of the mindset that they keep Fields.
Yes.
Interesting.
And trade back. Well, they could trade.
I would want to trade Fields, is what I would want to do if I'm them.
You trade back. Trade back. Or you take Marvin 101 and say, fuck it.
I just don't know.
No, you don't take Marvin 101.
No. You don't do that.
I've made a bet that won't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really tough to trade away the 101 twice in a row. I think that would haunt a franchise pretty badly if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about should, but I'm speculating on the would, and I don't think that's going to happen.
ANF, as someone who lives here, I think they'd be very upset if they took Caleb and traded Fields for like a third or a second.
I think.
Would they still be upset if he was good though?
I think they'd be upset.
Is that guy?
Bears fans have convinced themselves that they're going to get we're talking Max Crosby, the 110, another first, another second.
Yeah, well, that's not.
Or the 101.
If there's a first involved,
why wouldn't you do that if you're the Raiders? That's a great idea.
And Max Crosby's untouchable, is what everyone says.
That's insane. There's no one on that team that would be untouchable if I were the Raiders.
The Raiders organization has proven time and time again that they are not a good organization.
The fair point.
Yeah.
There was talk. I don't know if y'all saw this. There's like a rumor that they are legitimately considering the possibility of hiring John Gruden again,
No.
I really hope they do.
which would be hilarious.
They just bring him back on the old contract.
Yeah, just like pretend that the past couple of years just didn't happen. Like, all right, here's our coach again.
It will be difficult for Ruggs to make practice, but
That is fair.
I will enjoy hearing the rest of the podcast, but I will be going to bed. I respect everyone here except Andy. How about that?
Any closing remarks other than you don't respect Andy?
That's all we
I
need to
think
say.
that pretty much sums up the attitude of the whole podcast, if we're being quite honest.
Well, Lippy has departed. Let's see here. I'm curious as to, this is just something for me to enjoy. I'd love to get Waters' thoughts on what is next for Tennessee while we kind of look at a big picture NFL view. What are your thoughts that will happen with the Titans?
I have no idea. There's so much being floated about Vrabel potentially, getting poached by the Pats or getting fired by the Titans, one of the two.
Yeah.
And it seems like he really wants to stay based on everything that he said in his
I believe that.
press conferences.
I
Yeah,
think he
I
does.
believe it as well. It's very strange. But we're a pretty incompetent franchise. So I would not at all be surprised if we shit canned him and, went all in on this unproven kid out of San Francisco, Carthon, to hand pick his coach to, run the style of offense that he apparently wants to run with a fucking guard who can't play guard, shifted over from fucking tackle, taken number 10 overall in the goddamn draft. And then I think they'll try and relocate Derek if they do that. I think they'll try and put him out to pasture.
Isn't he a free agent?
Yeah.
Is he a free agent?
I think
I think he is.
He is. My prediction was y'all bring him back on a cheap deal and he retires a Titan. Because I don't think he's going to get big money anywhere.
You don't think somebody like Philly will offer him, vet minimum?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. But I think I don't know. And I always thought that he would want to retire a Titan.
Well, let me ask this: if let's say Philly's offering vet minimum, if the Titans offer more than the vet minimum, do you think he just stays in Tennessee to not have to relocate and do all that and retire, or do you think because I just don't know, like, is his desire to win a ship that high that he would go to Philly for less?
I mean, I don't know how much he would command on the open market, let alone in Tennessee. I mean,
see, I think Tennessee's where he gets his best deal.
Yeah, that's probably true. I just don't know what that would be. I mean, I guess I would be surprised if we gave more than $5 million annually.
Yeah, that's around where I think he would get from y'all. Yeah.
And at this point in his career, I mean, I could, fresh off the heels of a pair of pretty shitty seasons, I feel like he has something left to give and be willing to sacrifice a little money to go try and, get the Christian McCaffrey media treatment.
Yeah. I do also feel like there's an element in Tennessee of kind of wanting to turn the page. Like, even though I'm sure they appreciate what he's done, like, wanting to have Tajay be the guy and kind of turn the page on the offense and everything and start fresh.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think if Derek comes back, Tajay's the guy.
I agree.
Even if Derek comes back.
Agreed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tajay just.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see that.
Pretty good.
That seems. Yeah. If y'all feel that way, I'm sure that's probably a sentiment that Derek has picked up on, which might mean that he's just for sure going to walk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And
I do think he feels like he has more in the tank, so I'm sure he wouldn't. As much as I'm sure he loves Tennessee, he probably loves Tajay. Like, doesn't necessarily want to play second fiddle to somebody.
Right, and I don't. Let me Derek is not a running back who can play with a bad offensive line.
That's true.
He needs creases, and he needs to get through that front four and hit the second level with the head of steam. That's his game, and he doesn't necessarily have the same long speed that he used to be able to break those, what would be like a 7-yard run for somebody else into a 99-yard touchdown. But I don't think there's any situation where he would be like, yeah, I feel like I've got a lot left in the tank. Yeah, I'm loyal to Tennessee. I want to retire a Titan. So let me sign up for very little money to play behind a completely shitty patchwork line again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, because he may not need the best line. I don't think it has to be a huge crease for him to be successful. But he was quite literally getting smoked in the backfield this year. He was getting the handoff, and there were 3 guys around him. He was in it was a no-win situation. So I can understand, as much as you love the Titans, as much as you might want to stay there, not signing up for that voluntarily again.
Right. I mean, that game against the Texans.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Which one?
If you're the first one, the worst in history.
Yeah.
For a running back with 20 or however many touches.
The second one was fun too. Yeah.
It's been a good year to be a Texans fan.
Just real now.
Yeah. So that's those 2 games is kind of where I'm like, okay, the Titans are fucked because if Derrick Henry is doing this against us, it's over. It's done. Because you look at the past 3 years of Derrick Henry against us, and it's like someone's got a controller up top playing Madden. It's done. Tennessee is fucked for so long, and I feel for Titans fans. I don't actually. They can shove those Oilers uniforms up their ass. But
I feel for them. Actually, I don't.
Yeah,
at all.
I don't at all. Fucking shit ass franchise. The Adams family can fuck themselves, and they're going to be in the bottom of the division for a long time because the other 3 teams, I think, could be really, really competitive. I don't mind saying this, and obviously I'm not biased or have any homerisms at all. As soon as it opens for 2024, after that first week of February, I'm slapping down some Texans Super Bowl bets because it's fucking happening. And then you've got Richardson coming back with the Colts, and you've got the Subway King over in Jacksonville. It's going to be really tough for the Titans for a while, I think. I don't really see a way out in the near future, which is awesome. I love that. So
it is kind of jarring, when you look at the other teams in the division, how little long-term talent there is on the Titans roster.
Yeah.
I know how it ends up that way. You have a bunch of bad draft picks and your free agent signings don't typically work out. But it's still crazy that that roster is as bad as it is in terms of people that you can legitimately look at and be like, oh yeah, that's a core piece for us going forward. You have Levis, Tajay. I mean, I know Andy's huge on Westbrook-Akina, so like that's got to be one.
That is just crazy.
The thing is, I think Westbrook-Akina even is like 26 now.
Oh, I was kidding. Like that's
No, I know.
obviously not
No, I know. But like,
Oh,
Westbrook-Akina has always been like that, like scrappy young guy that like. Now he's like a veteran
He's older than
foundational
everyone on
piece
the
of that.
Texans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's till they get their other receiver back. What's his name again?
Chris Olave, I think.
No.
Kyle
Kyle.
Phillips.
Oh, Kyle Phillips. That's a centerpiece.
Oh, you weren't talking about Traylon Burks? I thought you were making a
No.
Traylon Burks joke.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
No
I
one's
couldn't make a
talking
Traylon
about
Burks
him.
joke because I'm legitimately like worried about his football future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if it makes sense for that guy to continue playing football. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it does, and I think the Titans are in real big trouble. I assume Hopkins signed a 1-year deal. Is that
I
accurate?
believe that's the case.
Let me look. I think it was.
I'm afraid it might have.
He's in line for like
1 year.
$750,000 in incentives if he gets like 100 yards this week.
Oh, it's a 2-year deal.
Something
2-year
crazy.
deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
2-year, $26 million contract. Okay.
Well, so I mean, I guess you've got that for another year, which is better than nothing.
How much of it's guaranteed?
Oh, I can't imagine it went past this year in guarantees.
It'll be 7.8 mil in dead cap next year.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's healthy, you might as well run him out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta sell some tickets, get some hot dogs sold.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like thinking about it, like they just haven't. I mean, I don't remember who all their draft picks were last year,
but
but
it
like
seemed like they had a stranglehold on the division 2 years ago.
yeah, but they just haven't. The draft picks they've made just haven't turned into like long term contributors. Like they've had some. Like I think what's that LSU corner whose name escapes me right now? He's been all right. Christian Fulton, yeah, he's been okay. But like, I mean, like the Caleb Farley pick, that was a disaster.
Oh, you think the Caleb Farley pick was a disaster?
I mean, I know the Caleb Farley pick was a disaster, but I'm sure you've got others.
How about the first round pick the year before that? Friendo?
Oh, is that the tackle who like just forgot how to play football and just was like, no, I'm done with this?
No, he didn't forget how to play football. He decided not to play football.
Oh, right, my bad.
I'm sure he would have still been great. He just said, screw it. I'd rather party.
I just don't really feel like doing this anymore.
Yeah, I'm out. Oh.
And then there was who else did they really whiff on?
I'm pulling it up right now. Don't you worry.
I will say, just as commiseration, we had a real tough pick, and I just about worship the ground that Caserio walks on, but Kenyon Green, I think we took him at 15 last year in the 22 NFL draft.
Really?
Yeah. And he's just been a colossal dud. But really, I think Caserio's been an incredible drafter, but I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't go that far. He hit it out of the park in the top 3 last year. I'll give him that. But, yeah, I mean, have you guys seriously forgotten about Stingley over Sauce?
So I'll say this. Obviously, Sauce is having a great time, and it's looking like he's going to be the better player. But I love
looking like he's going to be the better player.
That's where I'm.
I like Stingley as much as the next guy, but Sauce has been incredible.
All I'm saying is, I'll wait and see. I'm not
upset.
You
gotta wait and see. Jury's still out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You never
Leaving
know.
that 2022 draft with 2 firsts and using it, Derek Stingley and Kenyon Green is tough.
The Green pick is better.
Who did they take him before? I'm about to look.
No,
This is gonna hurt.
No.
Oh
No,
God!
I've done that. It's not fun. It's really, really tough. It's really tough.
I mean, in fair, like, there's not
Is it
too
Olave?
many
Who
names
is
on
it?
here. No, it's like,
No,
I mean, it's John Dotson, who's been like whatever.
There's a lot.
Zion Johnson.
There's better linemen that could have been taken.
I don't know. I mean, they
Oh.
took him over Trevor Penning, who sucked. Tyler Smith for Dallas is probably the one that hurts the worst. And then you have Tyler Lindenbaum for Baltimore,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's good players that we did not get. I'm all right with the pass
nice.
on Cole Strange, though. That was the legendary pick of that first round.
Well, we got to see how that pans out.
Yeah,
so.
You will have to wait and see.
Andy, when did Robinson get to the Titans?
2016, I think.
2016. Yeah, dude. Like, oh man, so many of these picks just turned into like literally nothing. Like he got a couple of good guys per draft, if that. So many of them are.
It was 20.
Was it 2015?
Yeah, it was 2016 because they traded down from number 1.
Yeah, that's where they
Rams.
took Conklin. They took Conklin at
and that
8.
created. They picked up a bunch of second rounders in the next year's draft to pair with the number 5 overall pick, which they used on fucking Corey Davis. And then
Adoree Jackson in that same draft.
Oh my god. And Adoree has low-key been like the best player the Titans have picked in the last decade just based on longevity and relevant snaps played alone.
But like mostly since he's left. Like
all since he's left. He was terrible while he was here, but for New York he's been pretty solid.
Yeah.
But then we spent second rounders in that draft. We had 3, I think. We spent one of them
that was in the Conklin draft. Conklin's draft, you had 3 seconds. You took Kevin Dodd, Austin Johnson, and Derrick Henry. Took Bayard in the 3rd though, which pretty good while he was here.
Right.
But no, like you look at all the other ones, like he either like just didn't have a lot of picks. Like in 2018, he had 4 picks, and he took Rashaan Evans with the 1st rounder, Harold Landry in the 2nd, who's been pretty good. My boy Dane Cruikshank in the 5th, and Luke Falk, a quarterback, in the 6th. And like that's all they got out of that draft.
People were saying Luke Falk was the next Drew Brees.
I'm sure a person was.
And then he did not make it past the first round of cuts.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, the guy they took out of LSU, and was it 2021? It was that Racey McMath. I only knew him because he played at LSU. They took him in like the 6th round and cut him almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I'm looking at the 2020 draft. Yikes. That was a tough pick, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Because we didn't
Christian
have a first
Fulton is
there. Oh, no.
Oh, you're looking at the Texans one?
Yeah, we took Ross Blackcock or whatever the fuck his name was. What a fiasco.
One of those guys is a porn star.
That was I was so excited for him, and he is just a complete turd burglar. That was the pick before JT went off the board. Oh. Alright, but anyway, Casario's gone, so.
2020 for the Titans did not fare much better. Christian Fulton is the best player they took by a long shot.
Yeah.
Darrington Evans in the 3rd is tough.
R.I.P.
What?
Not like actually. Just
I was like, what?
Oh, Jonathan Grenard in the 3rd. Never mind. That was a great draft. Great draft.
What was? What was John Robinson's obsession with taking these late Cole McDonald in the 7th round, just setting the pick on fire?
I know, every time. Well, everyone else in the league is doing like height, weight, speed guys, and
Yeah.
like actually hitting on a couple of them every 5 or so years.
He's like, no,
John
give me
Robinson's like, no, I'd literally rather spend this on a Gardner Minshew Jr. and then cut him
simply
tomorrow
must have a former
for him being
Hawaii
shorter than I remember.
gunslinger.
That is literally just lighting the pick on fire.
Every year he did it. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Cole
It was like
McDonald
we were-
played at Hawaii. I will give you one the over under 10,000 passing yards in his 3 years there.
Hawaii?
Yeah,
Wait, you're talking about Cole McDonald's college career over under 10,000?
I'm talking about the
Passing
swinging
yards?
Hawaiian Cole McDonald. We all
Over.
know. No,
Way over.
nope.
What?
8,000 yards.
Okay, but was he a starter for all 3 of those years?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that matters?
He had like a 5,000 yard season, didn't he?
No.
He had a 4,000 yard,
Yeah, 4,000 yard season.
4,100 yards. The year before that,
Oh,
3,800.
4,100 yards. Boo hoo.
No, I get it.
So
He's for
few.
sure worth. Well, and the funny part is they took
Lamar's
I'm pretty
best
sure
year was
they took him-
3,800. You idiot.
They took Cole McDonald with the 224th overall pick. I'm pretty sure that's the pick that was used on Purdy in Purdy's draft year. So he could have
Yeah.
easily
Yeah.
been Brock Purdy.
Why would you draft
Could've.
Cole McDonald when you could pick Brock Purdy?
You could have just simply picked Brock Purdy years later. A lot of
You'd
people
have
say that.
you'd have to drive to Murfreesboro and avert your eyes from Robinson's paunch belly and ask him to his face why.
I won't be doing that.
All right,
But
I guess we'll
no,
never
I
know.
mean I'm curious to see what this new guy, what Carthon does in this next draft. But so far, I don't know. I don't know what Titans fans can cling to for optimism. Like the guy that you trade away one of the franchise's best receivers, and you took what you thought was a 1-to-1 replacement, and that guy should probably retire tomorrow.
But we have cap space, so
Can cap space block for Derrick Henry or Tajay? Because none of these guys they drafted can.
until Roger Saffold signed with the fucking Bengals the other day, it sure could have.
Let me ask another Titans question. Should Tannehill stay on y'all's roster?
God,
No, he's gone. He's literally already like said goodbye.
Yeah.
Like in his press conference answers, he's like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Okay.
Do you think Tannehill? He probably would be a good backup somewhere,
Yeah.
I
but
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm kind of leaning that he wouldn't. I don't know that he gives you the upside that like for what you would
He
probably
doesn't do
pay.
shit.
Yeah,
Right.
I think he's kind of done.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Plus, he's super injury prone. I mean, he
Yeah,
gets hurt
that's
all the time.
That's true. I mean, you don't really have to worry about that as a backup, though. I don't know.
No, but I mean, if you're paying him what, like 8,000? I mean, 8 million to be your backup. Like you definitely don't want to just get like one game out of him for that. Like
Right.
if you need it,
Right. He needs to be at least durable.
and he hasn't demonstrated. Like I think the other thing you pay for as a backup, although Chase Daniels kind of undercuts this, but I think what you pay for to some extent is like having them mentor the other QBs on the roster. And I've seen no evidence that Tannehill can really do that.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, he
hates Levis.
toward Will Levis.
Yeah, he hates Levis, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't like.
And I don't think
Willis
he's
either.
wrong to hate him. I mean,
No.
if you brought in a 22-year-old jackass from Kentucky into my office and said, "Hey, like this guy already thinks he's way better than you at everything, and he probably is. Would you help him find the copy machine?" I would probably not be very keen on doing that. So I can relate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. But yeah, I think for all those reasons, it's kind of like why I don't think, and I know he's recently trying to be a backup, but it was the same reason why I didn't think Carson Wentz is a legitimate backup. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't think those guys are that.
that's
Like,
fair.
because they're not giving you the upside when they play. Like, they actively hurt you with their decision making a lot of the time. Both of them.
Right.
And like they're not mentoring anyone. Like, yeah, it's just a net negative.
Yeah, but check in with like the Browns next October. Maybe he'll be, swinging it like Flacco.
I was gonna say, what you think he's backing up Flacco?
Yeah. Flacco's riding off into the sunset. He's winning the Super Bowl and then he's out.
Yeah. If I'm the Browns, I wouldn't let him. I'd be like, no, man. Like, I understand that you want to be done, but
You're not going.
You got to stay. Yeah, I would tell. I'd be like, listen, you don't have to do shit for the whole year. Go home, see your kids, do whatever. We don't care. If Deshaun goes down, like, you're not signing. We have your rights. Like, you come right back. Like, this is not a drill.
Literally, like what? Like Cincinnatus? Story of Cincinnatus?
Yeah.
Is that I don't know, a classic literature? Yeah, or is that I know that Cincinnatus was a farmer who was pressed into service during military emergencies in ancient Rome. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
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 Definitely the first one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the listeners are going to love that literature lesson that they just got for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to the text from Curn tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. being like, "You dipshit, Cincinnatus was a Greek mythology figure or some shit like that." I don't know what he's from.
Curn
it's hilarious that you think that. I was going to say, it's hilarious that you think Curn will both be up at that time, be listening to this podcast at that time, and will have read enough to know that is incorrect.
I would contend
he knows me well enough to know that I'm wrong.
I would contend there is no one less that is less likely to reach out to you about that correction than Curn in your phone contacts list. There could be a 4-year-old child that has a phone in your contact list. I would have a high degree of confidence that they would reach out.
Well, ANF, I would actually agree with you now because I just looked it up and he was in fact a Roman
Look at that.
leader. So, yeah, the correction is unlikely to be made by anyone
due to the fact that it cannot be made.
Correct. Much less by Kevin L. Curb.
So let me ask you a question because I would love to get the chance to shit on the Saints. I've been awfully mean to the Titans. What do you think they're going to do in the off season? / what do you think they should do? / what can they do?
They are 100%
forward.
Yep, they're running it all the way back, baby. It's going to be a disaster. What could happen
is they don't fire Dennis out. They do.
No, they're not going to fire him. I don't think they will.
There's no way they lose the division and don't fire him.
I don't know. I think they might.
They were like the 5th favored, like Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. No, I get it. But I think what happens is I think Carmichael takes the fall, and I think Dennis Allen gets another year.
Dennis Allen's going to keep hiring shit coordinators as fall guys.
Well, I do think, as dumb as this whole organization appears to be, I don't think they will be able to ignore another season because it's going to affect their pocketbook. Like this is their worst year in terms of ticket sales that they've had in a long time. So like it's going to get to a point where they're going to take all the booze on TV and shit. Like it's going to be a point where they won't be able to ignore it if it happens for another year. Um, which I think it's for sure going to happen for another year because I don't think Allen's a very good coach. And I don't think they have the talent to truly be competitive. And Carr, I don't even know. I weirdly, when he first signed, I didn't think it was. I thought it was okay.
I
Um,
thought it was good.
yeah, and he's looked so awful.
Major disappointment.
Yeah, I don't even think it's the talent. I think it's the just the fact that they've like worked so hard to alienate the fan base. Like
Yeah,
there's no like grit to Derek Carr. To Derek Carr, there's no like blue collar attitude to the team. It's like a bunch of prima donnas who just like bitch whenever anything goes wrong, and I don't think anybody really respects them. Like I don't know. I mean, like
yeah.
Cam Jordan, obviously, the whole city will ride or die for him. He may go down as the greatest Saint ever. He embodies the things that I think the team as a whole lacks now. If you could give us 22 Cam Jordans, we might not have a great offense or a great secondary, but we would have the Superdome would be rocking.
Yeah.
Like Derek Carr lacks accountability. He lacks self awareness. He doesn't seem like that nice of a guy, like to the other dudes in the locker room. And whether that's a like a generational thing, a religion thing, a class divide at this point, like I don't know. I would imagine it's a combination of all of that. Like I don't think that like Eric McCoy is like sitting there thinking like, oh no, like I live in $1 million house, like I'm equal to this guy who got brought in for like what $180 million. Most of it guaranteed. Like when Carr barks at these guys after he holds the ball into oblivion and gets pulverized, and throws his receivers under the bus publicly, like his rookie receiver was like a star, like it just doesn't really like looking at me from the outside in, it's really easy to say you don't know what someone's trying to accomplish in those moments of strife. But it is easy after the fact to distill what people say about that moment or that person that was involved in that moment and like how the discourse changes after each of those like moments. And what I've noticed for my part is a pattern of Dennis Allen and Derek Carr having each other's backs, and then the rest of the roster kind of speaking more and more dismissively about them. Mm-hmm. And Tate, maybe like you follow the team more closely than I do. Maybe I'm mistaking things, but I get the vibe that like something is off. Like they need to do like a retreat somewhere to like feel like they're all on the same team. Like it seems very like RG3 and Dan Snyder kind of,
Yeah, like it's a weird vibe for sure. And I think Carr is probably a nice person, but you're right as far as like you just won't take accountability. And like no matter how nice you are in general, people are gonna fucking hate you if you don't take accountability and blame them for stuff, which is
right.
Kind of what happens. And I don't know. I just think as a whole, like the problem I think lies with like what you're saying. I think Dennis Allen does defend Carr. I think Carr does the same because I think the organization just like from top down has like this like what you said about the fan base, like I think it's true. Like I think they take it all for granted. Like there's this complacency with the whole organization where they're like, oh, like we're fine. Like we're doing this, we're at this plateau and like we're fine. We're not gonna rock the boat. Like there's no need to push for more. Like we're fine. It's why I think that they won't do a full blood rebuild and just take their medicine on this stuff. Like you didn't have to go get Card. You could have just had Jameis been bad and gone and gotten up, but they didn't want to do that because they were like, no, like, we don't want to rock the boat. You know, they Doug Pearson, they had him for a Zoom interview to be their head coach, and like they didn't even bring him in. Actually, they just did a Zoom interview because they'd already made their mind up. They wanted to like keep Dennis Allen as the guy because they didn't want to change anything. Like they're just like stuck in this thing. The GM has been there forever. He's like ingrained with like the business side of stuff. So like he's never going to like they're just it feels like one of like the last like good old boys network. I know that that's absolutely not the case, but like it just feels like the most old school like yeah, we're all going to take care of each other and just swindle money out of these people for as long as we possibly can until they finally wise up and like fire all of us. Like it's just not. And that's I think when that's the mindset of like the top people in the organization, like it filters down, and I think that's why you see like guys like Olave and people like that like having issues with all that. Like Kamara has been frustrated like perpetually because he's like, I don't like this mindset that these people have. Like, nope, not cool with losing like this. But I think a lot of them just kind of are. It's weird. It's the weirdest vibe I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I know Michael Thomas isn't happy.
I don't know what
either.
Yeah,
I think the most stark example I can point to was Carr's post-game presser after the Falcons loss, when he was asked about the Jesse Bates pick six on like the 1 yard line or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
When he was like, yeah, he just made like a really great play. Like he made the right read and like tip of the cap to him. Like he just crushed it. He was like so flowery and effusive in his praise, like relatively speaking, of Bates. And it was like the perfect like
PR answer.
Crossover of like him failing to be like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Which a lot of analysts pointed out after the fact that like if he had made the correct pre-snap read, he would have realized that Jesse was playing robber and the route that he threw would not have been open. But beyond that, it was him being like go Falcons, like that's, you can never do that here. You can't do that. That is like the number one way to alienate this fan base is to say anything good about the Falcons.
Falcon defenders sure are smart.
Right, like Cam Jordan has literally made a career off of like trolling Matt Ryan. Like you gotta lean into it or get out. You cannot sit there and be like, oh, like Jesse Bates, what a player, which he is, but like you gotta show some emotion that people can empathize with.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, it's never gonna hit home, and people don't want to leave the comfort of their homes to go to, I mean, not to get political, but like a lot of Saints fans are very conservative and scared of big cities because they think their truck's going to get broken into, and so they're even like less likely to go show their face in the most dangerous wild west of the U.S., downtown New Orleans. And it's not like butts and seats is like the main metric, right? But I mean, all just kind of it's a problem. The Saints are staring down the barrel of a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I went to the Lions game where the Lions were infinitely louder. Like that place was bumping for the Lions. Like it did not feel like a Saints home game. Like it was, that's bad. Like I've been in situations where like I've gone to games in the past where like yeah, the crowd may not be super into it or anything like that. I mean, I played at a D3 school. I know what it's like when a crowd's not into it. But like that was just downright embarrassing. Like, and then you had Saints fans who like they're cheering when Carr comes off and Taysom comes in. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just a bad thing.
Saints fans
Bad
have gotten. I was going to mention that Saints fans have gotten real confused by the Taysom situation. There are Saints fans who earnestly believe, like, unlikability or whatever else aside with respect to Derek Carr, they just flat out believe that Taysom Hill would be a better quarterback than him, which is of course
crazy.
not true.
insane.
I mean,
It's patently false.
but
He
they have
sucks.
somehow run this offense into the ground with Carr at the helm to the point where people legitimately believe that Taysom would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Everybody from it's the organization, it's the fans, everyone's just it's all bad. It's all so bad.
Do you think that Carolina is in a worse position?
Yeah, actually.
Carolina's in the worst
Yes, I
position.
do.
Okay.
Having said all that we just
Yeah.
said about the Saints, yeah,
I
would not want to
100%
be
agree.
Carolina.
I 100% agree. Yeah, and you said they're in the worst position in the NFL?
I think so, yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I think as long as Tepper's there, they're never going to get a good coach. And I think as long as Bryce is not given help, which it looks like he's not going to be given help
Not this year.
due to them not having a first rounder.
Yep.
I mean, there's only so much he can do before he gets broken in half.
Right.
And that's not a comment on his stature. That's what happened to Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Got to protect these guys, especially when they're learning.
Yeah.
Well, I know what we said about the Titans, like roster being devoid of talent, and I do think the Panthers has some like cornerstone pieces on it as far as like the Derrick Brown's really good. Their defense has some good players, but like overall, like that roster is bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
And like you don't have a first round pick to improve it, which
Which makes the fact that they wouldn't accept a second for who's their edge that AJ Rex?
Brian Burns.
Yeah, that they wouldn't trade him for a pick last trade deadline.
Dude, they had a 2 first round pick trade on the table, I think. And we're like, no.
So stupid.
What is having a crazy good pass rusher doing for you on a roster that bad?
That's a great question.
Like I understand you have to like build a good team in order to like just having the quarterback doesn't get you there. Like you got to have good pieces and stuff. But like when you're bad, there are certain positions that like just don't seem to matter, and it feels like the move when you have those positions that just don't seem. I mean, they did it. They did it with McCaffrey. Like they shipped him off because like their team was bad, and so it didn't matter. Having a good running back didn't matter, and so like I'm sure there's a limit to it. Like you can't get rid of all your good players, but like a guy like that who you haven't extended, so it seems like you don't want to pay him. Like, what are you doing holding on to him?
It's a really good question. They actually. They used their last pick from the McCaffrey trade this year. San Francisco's 5th this year goes to them.
Jesus, they've already exhausted the McCaffrey trade.
Yeah. So this year they have
before he left his prime.
This year they have their own second, their own third, and their own fourth, They have San Fran's 5th, Tennessee's 5th, and Arizona's 6th. And that's what they've got to work with.
What GM in their right mind takes that job?
An unproven one.
I mean, it is. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be. It's got to be a guy, like, desperate to have one of those 32 jobs,
Take
because
a stab at
otherwise,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's...
Pepper is not a guy I'd want to work for.
I feel like that's a hard job in a good pick situation.
Yes.
With a good roster, that's a hard job. With this, I mean, I don't know what you do.
Well, and getting a coach is going to be hard because it's got to be somebody who believes in Bryce.
I think that'll be easier. I think there'll be people that want to work with Bryce and attach themselves to like developing him. Because I think he's gotten, he hasn't been brilliant, but I think he's taken too much shit for what he's working with and what he's been given. So,
I guess. I mean, I'm higher on Bryce than I think like the Andys of the world are. But
Andy, are you big out on first overall?
Big out on first overall. What?
Bryce Young.
Bryce.
I'm not out on him.
Let's go.
Do you think he's going to be? Do you think he's going to be good?
No, but not because of his own failures. I think Panthers are going to get him killed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
That's very fair.
I thought at one point you didn't think that he was very good.
I don't think so. I thought he was going to be an MVP candidate.
That's aggressive.
Well,
I believe that.
We were talking earlier. We're kind of just revisiting this NFC South conversation. Andy, what do you think the Bucs should/will do with Baker?
I mean, I feel like you got to bring him back. Pay him.
I completely agree.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
There was some Baker hatred going on earlier. There are people that
Interesting.
that were not Baker believers. Do you think they bring Mike Evans back?
That's harder to say. I feel like if you're paying Baker, you should bring Evans back.
That's what I think too.
Again, there's only so much money to go around, so
yeah.
What amount per year does Baker ask for that to you would be prohibitive? Like, what's the lowest?
30.
That's kind of where I was thinking. Baker at 30 would be a tough sell for me.
Yeah, but he still may get it.
No, I know, but so Amp was referencing some Baker non-believers. I'm Baker non-believer.
Lippy as well.
Yeah, I just my thing is, I think they will bring him back. I don't know that they should because I'm not sure that what Baker gave you this year can't be replicated with a rookie that you take in the draft with your first rounder. Like I don't think it was.
I mean, where's the first rounder?
It's gonna
you think Bo Nix could do this?
No.
Well, that specific person, no, I don't, because I don't think Bo Nix can do anything. But let me see, where's their first?
I mean, it'll be right in the middle.
It's 20.
Yeah, they're not. I mean,
no.
So you think Penix could put?
Oh yeah.
Are you aware of what Baker's done this year?
I am. I also think that he's wild. I think the minute that you start betting on him in that big of a way is the minute that he's going to let you down.
We already pulled the stats on the show.
We haven't.
What?
Let me pull up Baker.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and point out I can't remember the last rookie that threw for 4,000 fucking yards. Tate.
Well, if you can't remember,
54%
then
completion,
Well-
28 touchdowns to 10 picks.
Very well, possibly could be one in Houston after this upcoming week, but he needs 160. So
I'll probably get that.
no, yeah, I'm not knocking what he's done this year. Like he's looked good this year. I'm just saying
But
going
you
forward.
literally said you think that a rookie could replicate this production. A rookie that they pick at 20. I think that's batshit insane to say.
I do too.
I don't know. I think it's just because I think that what Baker's doing is unsustainable.
I think there's some gray area between that
That's
and
fair.
a rookie being able to do this.
Yeah,
I guess maybe the better way to put it is I would rather bet on a rookie.
long term.
Yeah, and I guess not thinking of statistical success. I think team success wise, I guess is a better way of thinking about it. Like I don't think the team is in a markedly worse position with the rookie than with Baker. Like I think it's similar.
All right, so let's move on then. So you would rather they take Penix at 20 than commit to Baker.
Then pay Baker like 30 plus million. Yeah, I would.
So you would rather squander the twilight of Mike Evans' Hall of Fame career.
I mean, I think if you're doing what Tate's proposing, you don't bring Mike back. Am I correct?
I think it would depend on what he's asking for. I mean, I wouldn't hate bringing him back. And I wouldn't characterize it as, I mean, you could argue that Mike Evans' entire career has been squandered by the quarterback play that he's had, other than Brady. But
he's always had guys willing to chuck it to him deep.
I mean, but Penix is a fantastic deep thrower. So, like, if
other
you
than
get
Brady,
Penix,
oh my god, did you just say other than Brady?
Yes.
25% of his career has played with legitimately the best quarterback of all time. And you're going to say, well,
Brady was there for
he's always been held back.
I think 3 seasons.
I thought it was just 2.
I think it was just 2. But
how many years Mike Evans been in the league?
No, it was.
He's played 9?
It was
10. This is his 10th.
Yeah, he played 3 seasons with Tampa, Brady.
Oh, yeah, he did, because he came over in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it was more than 33%. More than 25%. 30%.
Okay, but
other than that,
let me adjust. 70% of his career has been with shit quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Who
throw air yards.
And again, Penix, that's one thing he's known for.
Okay.
All I'm saying is you can find somebody who can throw deep to him. Like, that's not hard.
Is it, though?
Everyone they've brought in has thrown it deep to him.
They've literally had Jameis, Brady, Baker.
Glennon.
Fitzy.
Glennon didn't start.
Glennon for sure started games.
Oh, yeah, he started games, but he's never, named the starter.
What? What kind of distinction is that?
Being the backup and starting games when Jameis gets hurt is very different than Glennon being anointed.
They drafted him.
Yeah, but he wasn't the guy when Mike Evans was there.
I mean, he kind of was. They drafted him. I'm pretty sure it was a new
5 games in 2014. That was Mike Evans' rookie year when they went 2-14, and they promptly moved on.
Okay.
So
you have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So 10% of his career was with the shitstorm that got them Jameis. And then Jameis fucking stuffed Mike Evans full of fucking receiving yards
Yeah.
until he couldn't breathe for 6 years.
I mean, I think
Am I
the real takeaway is
missing
that
something?
the decision to not bring Baker back makes a lot more sense if you've decided, or at least in my interpretation, makes a lot more sense if you've decided you're not bringing back Evans back either. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to bring back both of them.
I think they're going to try to. I don't know if they'll be successful in doing it, but yeah, I think they're going to try to.
Yeah.
I guess my feeling is I don't think it's mutually like I think I can understand moving on from Evans. I can understand bringing him back. I don't know that taking a rookie quarterback means that you should move on from Evans or have to move on from Evans or that it makes sense necessarily to move on from Evans.
Yeah, I guess I do, but we'll see. That leaves us with our last NFC South team, the Atlanta Falcons.
I want Arthur Smith fired so bad it hurt.
It doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Boy, that's a confusing franchise. My goodness, it's just a confusing division.
It's just like I don't know. It's we always talk about how quarterback is the most important position there is in the game.
Yep.
And that team was famously devoid of that a difference maker at that position. Say what you will about Desmond Ridder, like devoid of a difference maker at that position, and like intentionally passed on numerous quarterback options that they could have taken. And look, I like Pitts, but I don't know. It just seems like they lack vision. Like they took Pitts and haven't made efforts, I don't think, to build the offense around the guy that you took that high. Like you have Drake London who disappears, and again, I think these guys are talented. So to me, it says more about the scheme than the players.
Yep.
You take Bijan and you're like, no, we got to feed Tyler Algier more carries. Like, what the fuck? Why would you take Bijan where you took it? Like,
exactly.
What are y'all doing? And to me, that's why I think the coach just hasn't, because he just seems to be ignorant of the investment that they're making in these guys.
They're
He's
on
like,
a different page.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm going to run my scheme the way I want to run, and so I'm going to use the players that fit. Like, there is no reason in the year of our Lord, I know Andy disagrees with this, but I don't think there's any reason in the year of our Lord 2023, Cordero Patterson should be getting meaningful carries for that team. Like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people would agree with you. See, this is, I don't know.
Team infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like the Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke, like rotation. Like, what are y'all doing? Do you care about winning football games that matter? Like that. Neither of those guys are long-term answers. Like I just don't. God, I hate it so much. And then they spent so much money on the defense, which actually looked good at times. It's like all the more reason why it makes sense to have a competent quarterback back there and to tailor your scheme to fit your offense. You have weapons on this offense just not being. I mean, you have Van freaking Jefferson, a weapon that we all know, and just aren't using them.
Well,
Mac Hollins, who was supposed to be sneaky good this year, and you're just not using them.
Oh. On that note, I think it may be time for me to step off.
I think it might be time to call it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, fantastic pod. We covered a lot of ground. You fellas have a fine evening and a fantastic Friday. And I'll let y'all know when the pod's up.